Yeah, let's go through here real quick. Patrick Sessions starting first. John DeGainer starting second. Samuel Lecomte third. Renee Tercilla fourth. John Strauss fifth. Claire Schwendeman sixth. Paul Toombs seventh. Phil Glavin eighth. Sebastian Coppola ninth. Hugh Booker 10th. John Hammergren 11th. Jerry Robinson 12th. James Glass 13th. James Heck 14th. Carlo Falcone 15th, Rob May 16th, Mark Hannafin 17th, John Miller 18th, Stephen Shoddy 19th, Woody Smith 20th, Randall Castling, David Height, Chris Boutier, Louis Guerra, Alan Davison, Craig Hillis, Scott Borchetta, Seth Burgett, Phil Lasco, Todd Trefford starting in the back also, and Michael Mosley. Jonathan, take it away.
Yeah, like I said, we'll keep an eye on Scott Borchetta. We expect him to come through. We are 2 by 2 headed towards the green flag. It's the 2023 Speed Tour, Day 2. And our first race of the day, Group 6 and Group 12A. Away we go. Adam Andretti and Ben Sissel joining me as the Corvette flies into the lead in the number 63. A good start from the pole man, Patrick Sessions.
Yeah, he got a great start. I love watching these cars because they move so much more, right? So much more suspension articulation. And off to a great start and really gapping himself already from the rest of the field is Patrick Sessions up there in that beautiful Chevrolet Corvette.
Yeah, you can see from the drone, he's got 5 or 6 car lengths already, and he's only just coming out of 3 and under the bridge in 4, down to 5 and 6, and to the Bridge Hall turn 7. How is it for breaking into here, Adam? Because it always looks like you're all anchors.
Yeah, that's probably definitely the hardest braking zone on the entire racetrack. You're taking a lot of speed off the car in a short amount of time, because that's probably obviously also the best passing opportunity as well. So you don't want to give anyone kind of a freebie by getting on it even 5 feet early, because someone's going to go dive down and get a deep break on you. And it's a very bumpy in that braking. So and it seems like as you get further offline, it gets even a little bit more bumpy. So it makes it really tricky down there. Always gives us great action down there in turn 7. Don't you think, Ben?
Well, I was watching John DeGainer. I was talking to him. We've got a great shot of him now in that car in second, 111. They work through the offseason constantly. Decades of development in this car. That's what's great about vintage racing. But he said they set up the rear end so well, and he's been so used to sliding that thing around that now it's almost doing wheelies when he's back on the gas. So he's got to figure that out. But they figured something out because he got that car to rotate at turn 7 beautifully, and we'll keep an eye on that. But that's constantly developing for 40 or 50 years. That's got to be pretty fun.
It's got to be. I mean, and that's the thing, too. Like, we also forget that, yeah, the car stayed the same, but tire technology got so much better. Suspension technology, shocks, springs, those things got so much better and so much more predictable that you're taking really. Oh, here comes Scott. Look at him. He's poking his head out there.
No, that's Claire. That's Claire Schwindeman.
I'm sorry.
So Scott's back there
from
still.
A distance. It looks so similar. So thank you for the correction there.
There's Scott.
There he is. Okay.
Yeah. And this is Renee Tercilla here, who races with Billy Griffin's group, who's our GT champion.
Right.
And then he's followed by another one there. That's John Strauss. So there's good battles, and let's explain, because we're getting a lot of comments. Group 6 is basically big bore American muscle production cars up until 1972. Group 12 is 1973 to modern cars. And of big bore, not just American muscle. So that's why you're seeing the Vipers and the Ferraris, but they pull about the same lap times, and that's why they're out there. But they do the lap times in different ways with braking zones and whatnot, so that makes for some interesting racing.
Yeah, it looks like some of these old Corvettes and such are really point and shoot cars, right? You get that thing pointed and you just take advantage of the drag strips that you have here at Sebring International Raceway. But yeah, it's really fun to watch how eclectic it is, and it's hard to hear you guys as they go by, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. Beautiful sights and sounds, and we have been blessed over the weekend. Richard Petty, the icon of NASCAR here, and supporting his grandson, I may add, putting out the family colors. I was intrigued to ask you. I wonder how that went down at the Petty household. It's like, hey, we're thinking of running your grandson in the 43. You know, I'm sure Mario would have been in the same. Is he any good?
Yeah.
He's going to represent me?
Well, I mean, the King is such a proud man and a wonderful family man, too. If you know anything about Richard Petty, his family is 100% first. That's why he never found alcohol sponsorship, even when they did the Bud Bull Award on Richard Petty's car team.
Right.
He promised his mother many years ago he would never do that.
That's
right?
Cool.
So he's very much into family. So I'm sure it didn't get half a blink you know, to carry on, you know, the Petty tradition. And Thad's a wonderful young man and a good driver. He's jumped in with both feet. This is the deep end of the pool is TA2 class. That Big Machine Vodka Spike Coolers TA2 class is the deep end of the pool, and to jump in with both feet like that, I got a lot of respect for. He's in a good group. He's going to get great guidance, and I see great things coming from Thad Moffitt. It was great to see the King yesterday. He's been a very instrumental part of our family. My brother drove for him for many years in NASCAR Cup Series, and yeah, I'm really proud to know him on an intimate basis, and it was great to see him out here yesterday supporting the Trans Am Series.
Hey, well, we're getting yelled at, guys. Nobody cares about Trans Am. We got a good Group 6 12 race going on right now, and they want us to talk about it. Scott Borchetta, I think, is up to 5th or 6th already.
Yeah, I was about to say, he's flying
P4.
at the moment.
P4 they have.
P4 Borchetta. Yeah. So keep an eye on Scott. He is coming through and coming through fast.
Yeah, he's only 12 and a half seconds behind the leader of Sessions. So and he's been clicking off at least 1 car to 2 cars a lap, if not more.
Look at
what
that
a beautiful
Bizzarini.
piece of machinery that is. I mean,
Bizzarini lovely, isn't it?
Oh, I've been staring at it all weekend. Like I said, it's been across the paddock from us, and it's just one of those cars that looks fast sitting still.
Yeah.
Great pass right here down to the inside, turn 3. That is a tough spot to get a good run and a nice pass. And you know that was for 3rd position, or was that for 3rd?
We talk about these cars and how beautiful these cars are. And our tagline in SVRA is, some people collect art, we race it. Well, Carlo Falcone in that Bizzarini Corsa is definitely doing that. That is an absolute work of art. And then he's working out there hard with Hugh Booker and Jerry Robinson, Bill Glavin following right behind, James Heck. And what an eclectic mix of cars out there.
Yeah, the Bizzarini there, I think there's not too many of them that were ever made either.
No.
So I was bringing that up to people that I had, guests that I've had up here that were up here to support me, my wonderful friends from the Keys this weekend. I was telling them, I was pointing at that car, I was like, you're looking at something that 100% should be in a museum.
Yeah.
100%. And it's out here and giving the car its life, right? That's what that car was built to do. You know, Bizzarini, he did not build this car to want to sit in the garage for the rest of his life. So hats off to these wonderful men and women that put these things on the racetracks for our enjoyment.
Good battle here between Sam Lecomte and John Strauss. John Strauss in the Corvette, the all-green Ford Boss 320S right there. And this is going to go all the way, I think.
Now, Jerry Robinson, we had great shots of him in that Dodge Viper. He told me last night at dinner that he lost his wing. So his drive is totally different. He can't come into the brake zones at like turn 7 or turn 3. We saw him get past at turn 3. We see him.
It's crabbing.
Moving around. Yeah, you see that? It's not going straight. The alignment's out.
Yeah.
He's having a hard time. And now right in front of that Bizzarini, but now he's got no rear downforce. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, the car was crabbing quite a bit. There's something mechanically going on in that car that's causing.
That looks horrible, isn't it?
Yeah,
to
here we
drive.
go. That's a tricky drive. Those are the kind of cars that when you go fast in those, Ben and Johnny, you get in something that's really good and you find out how fast you really are. Because
that's what I've been doing wrong.
It's right. It's very difficult to drive a car like that. My hat's off. That is.
Yeah. He's going straight, but the car's also turned and leaned a little bit right. That's what he means by the crabbing there. And now he's going to have a hard time getting the brakes down here into turn 3.
Well, that's one of the more tricky braking zones, even when your car tracks straight, is turn 3. And I can't wait to see how he approaches turn 13.
Maybe his approach is that this is so bumpy that by the end of the race, the car will have straightened itself out.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah, Sebring could self-fix it.
An 8-lap race to get us on our way with Group 6 and Group 12A. And as Ben has mentioned before, this is for Big Bore for pre-72 and pretty much similar for 12. And after for Group 12, 72 and onwards up to the modern era.
So we're showing Borchetta scored second, but I think he has passed Patrick Sessions in that beautiful 63 from Concierge Motorsports. We'll hope to see images of that, but unbelievable to come back from 27th position all the way up through the field cleanly is the key here. And Scott Borchetta really using this Group 6 as just racing development for his TA2. Oh, there he is. Here's going to be the battle.
Yep,
Corvette versus Corvette, but these are two different iterations of Corvette, and that split window 63 Corvette Such a beautiful piece, but there's Scott wearing that number 1. You can see hard on the brakes. You can see that his car is set up pretty soft for Sebring.
Yeah, you try to get away with as soft as possible here because of the bumps, but at the same time, for every action, there's a reaction, right? So when you set up nice and soft, it also can cause where there's areas that there's grip, it can cause a lot of understeer, where the front end just won't turn. You turn the wheel, and you put the input that you want into the wheel to get you to the apex, and it just doesn't get you to the apex, and you have to put more in. Well, anytime you have to guide that more wheel, then it's scrubbing speed and taking speed off the car. So yeah, it's definitely a tricky balance here at Sebring International Raceway.
And I got to give it up for my friend there, Michael Mosley, in a beautiful, maybe the most beautiful Mercury Cougar. He was too polite. We were just about to get a great camera shot of him, and he saw Scott coming in his mirrors, and like he should, he got way over, and we needed to see him. So, Mosley, you got to fight for your camera time, man. But there he is. There's the leader Sessions in that split-window Corvette, the only year of the split-window Corvettes.
And again, another piece of history that you would normally find in a museum or somebody's garage that they polish with a diaper 6 times a day, and here it is on the racetrack collecting rubber and putting it on the limit. And I can't say it enough. I have so much respect for that because in our family, that's the way we looked at things, right? These cars have souls, and I mean he's ripping on it. He's not laying anything out there on the ground. He's not letting the grass grow under his feet. This is not. Just playing around out there. They are getting it. I mean, nailing every apex, hitting their marks. Great driving by Patrick Sessions.
And there's a little bit of a rivalry between Concierge Motorsports and Borchetta's racing team. They both fix and prepare Corvettes, and Samuel Lecomte and everybody there, Edward Savagian, good friends with Scott Borchetta, and sometimes the rivalries with friends is thicker than the rivalry with enemies.
It's always thicker. Because you'll actually speak to your friends.
Yeah, they'll call you and razz you about winning, right?
Well, the gap was 6 seconds, but last time out, Borchetta did a 2:14, so he's on a 3-second pace quicker than the leader Session. So it's only a matter of time now before Scott Borchetta, who's come all the way from the back, having not qualified as well as I don't know why he didn't qualify as well. He may have not had time because
he didn't qualify. He stayed out of the car so he could focus on TA2.
Gotcha. There you go.
He didn't want to mess his head around TA for his TA2 race. And also, he said he was staying out of the car until the race time. So that was his decision, and he's put on a good show for us because of it.
Oh, look at the gap now. They're coming around turn 1. You can see where that Goodyear tire wear is still there. And then here is Paul Toombs in the car that I kind of know as Shannon Ivy's car, but that car is set up.
What a cool car.
The way a Trans Am car would have been set up back in the day. He's got some marks on the side there. I hope that's not from this weekend.
What a cool, just the way the fender flares are on that car and the width of the tire, and the way that the rear end is actuating moving through it. Beautiful, beautiful livery on it as well. Simple with the Hawk brake package and just the number 7s on it. I've got a soft spot in my heart for the number 7. That's the first number my dad and my Uncle Mario raced under with the Hudson Hornet back in the day. Since we're on the SVRA, speak a little racing history.
Yeah, and the Hudson Hornet, what a cool car that was.
Oh, it was. There's some really special stories at some point. I love sharing about that Hornet if you guys are ever interested in hearing.
There's Zerini in traffic at the moment.
With a Ferrari.
With a Ferrari behind
it, right there.
You can't make this stuff up. You can't write even that script. I'm sure Bizzarini would have never even wrote that script that if 50 years or more later that the car that he designed to put on a racetrack would be in front of his old boss's modern car.
Yeah. In scripting it, you've got Sebastian Coppola and Falcone racing both Italian cars. It's like perfect.
It's almost like it was meant to be.
Yeah.
So time's running out now in our 8-lap race, but Borchetta looks as though he's eyeing in on another win in Group 6.
Yeah, I'm guessing since the gap at the line was 2.3, I'm guessing we're right on the tail, and this is a good battle here, too. Really deep in the brakes there. Whoa, look at that Corvette. Hang tight with a modern Ferrari on the brakes. That's just, like you said, to your previous point there, Ben, that all that development, they never stopped developing because they've kept racing the car throughout its history. So it's really, and then it comes right back. It's really neat stuff.
So I've got Boy from New York saying, I bumped noses with Uncle Mario at Mossport in the 70s. How cool is that?
That's cool. There's a few that could say that. Now look at this, side-by-side racing between the Bizzarini and the modern-day Ferrari. Excellent stuff here at SVRA.
I sure hope those wonderful photographers that are around here at Sebring International Raceway are catching this one on film, because those are some special pictures.
Lovely.
Right there. And I'm glad we're catching on video here for you folks at home and for all us watching in. This is, like I said, nowhere else in the world can you find that. You're just not gonna. But here at SVRA, Speed Tour weekends,
we were looking at people where they were tuning in from yesterday. We had people from Croatia, Sri Lanka, Jamaica. It was good fun. Now Borchetta hits the front. There he is. Finally gets over past Sessions and now leads this race into 7th.
And look at Sessions moving. When they get hard on the binders like that into Bridge Hall Bennett turn 7, they go back and forth sometimes 3 or 4 feet just trying to find the brake pressure, because it's different on each side. These are actual hydraulic. They're not assisted, and they are hot.
Yeah, that's one thing about here at Sebring. Another thing, on top of the abuse that we talked about that's so common with the bumps and everything like that, the brakes. Oh my goodness, the brakes take abuse here in a big way.
Look at this. So lap traffic could be a thing here. 3 Corvettes in one shot. Corvettes kind of made their name here at Sebring.
This is a great show, great battle right here. I believe that Scott Maya got that lead getting into turn 17, given that he had 4/10 coming to the line last time around. So I bet that was a really fun pass there getting into 17 for Scott. And look at another shot coming down the back straightaway here.
Sessions using those back markers, the traffic as best he can to stay with Borchetta in the closing stages of this one. But a good start to the day, and it's going to be a beautiful day of racing. The temperature is perfect, and so too the weather in the future. No rain expected, and these cars can do what they do best. Here we go.
He's staying protected. Oh no, he got it around lap traffic. That was a great way to catch him, because if you catch lap traffic into 17, you don't have too many options, and you know, you can kind of be careful, because people are really focused when they get into 17. It's such a risky corner, right, that you just they don't let their guard down even a little bit because of the consequences.
Well, Scott Borchetta wins again. This is, I thought, honestly, at the beginning of this race, I thought this might be a Group 6 race where we don't say that. But
how
he
many
wins.
is it? 20? Is he up to 30 yet?
And there he comes around. Big Machine Vodka Spike Coolers, turn 1 to 3 complex. Getting to wave to his wife, Sandy, who I think has maybe more fun at these races than even he does.
Whoa, somebody just pulled off there, but he's okay.
And that's so important. You know, it's so important to have the support, you know, that the people that you care about the most give you that support. I'm blessed to have that with Tabitha, my wife. And
well, she brought a sister last year.
Yeah. We try to bring family. I mean, we've always had it in our family that it's an open invite to our races. Of course, you want as much support as you can. It only helps your cause. It only helps what you're trying to go out there and do, and that's win races. Great job, Scott Borchetta. What a great job. Great race, great drive. You know, that might be something to look at in the future. Let's invert these fields.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I keep saying that we need to make it back row Joe Nemechek in vintage racing and see what he can do.
See what happens.
Yeah.
But, yeah, this is good stuff all the way around. Like Jonathan said, the weather has been absolutely superb all weekend long. It's warm. It's unseasonably warm for Florida and
it's better than Hollywood right now.
Huh?
It's better than Hollywood right now.
Hollywood, oh yeah, better than the Palm Desert, 58 degrees. So yeah, we'll definitely take it. We're not complaining. But here's our results.
Yep, Scott Borchetta with the win over Patrick Sessions, who led for most of the race. Klaas Wenderman in 3rd position. Gainer Lecomte Strauss to Silla in 7th position, and then Jerry Robertson 8th, Craig Hillis in 9th, and Bill Glavin rounding out the top 10. Group 6 and Group 12A, that's their feature race 2 for the second day here at Sebring. So they've had one run already, and some good highlights. An interesting race, just 8 laps, but it had plenty going on with Scott Borchetta not qualifying the car. I said right at the beginning it was going to be interesting to see him come through, and it was. Let's take a look at the highlights. There's Patrick Sessions right in the middle of your picture in the Corvette, bouncing his way across the curbs and actually extending that lead to 5 or 6 seconds within the first few laps. Nobody could touch him. But bit by bit, Borchetta was coming through and just carving his way through. Great way to start your day for Scott Borchetta. I'm sure he'll be in action again later today. But the number 1 was unstoppable, as it always is. He was some 3 seconds quicker than the leader. Sessions tried to stay with him during the run through the traffic, but at the end it was all Borchetta, and he did beat Sessions by about a second and a half, but a good victory for Scott Borchetta. He wins again in Group 6. We'll take a short break here from Sebring. My thanks to Adam and Ben. As always, we'll be right back with more action from the Speed Tour after this.